Hey guys, welcome back to another video of Impossible Mowers. In today's video, I figured I'd throw a curveball at you guys and do a little repair video on this log splitter because as you guys know, I am planning to use this with the mowers in a future video. And so I figured, you know what? I'm partnered up with Hypa, so why not get a carburetor from them and do a video. So for some of you guys who do not know, yes, I am partnered up, like I said before, with Hypa Outdoor Power Equipment. And, or you know, the parts for the power equipment at least. And they sent me for free a carburetor. Now you guys know carburetors, whether they're good or bad, they're going to tell you the quality of the item. I mean, if you buy a carburetor and it only lasts 3 months, 2 days, or a short time, you know the carburetor's not made well and it's junk, and you should probably look on getting something a little more better or high quality. Hypa claims carburetors work just fine and they're, you know, they last long. So I'm going to put that to the test and just, you know, see what happens. So while pushing this in, guys, I realized that the pull string is shot. I used a hillbilly way to start this motor, but then I remembered this is the same motor that we had performanced up, or we bought performance parts to get it up and running again for the Sears Suburban. And the performance parts came in with a spare pull string. So I figured, hey, you know what? Why don't I just take the pull string that I saved from that motor and put it on this? Works just fine. So I'm not going to throw that away. It can still be put to use. I could still get some new rope and a new handle. But as of right now, we're just going to swap it out and put that in a box and save it for later. But the story with this baby is I used to use this a lot until it just stopped running. It would fire here and there, but when it would fire, it would smoke, and it would smoke, backfire, but the worst part of it was it would just shut off like every 5 minutes, 4 minutes. Didn't matter how many times you revved it, choke or no choke, gas or no, like it just didn't care. So I realized when I popped the carburetor open with the bowl to try and fix it, it was beyond repair. The carburetor in this is just rusted out. Too much water got into it. I thought the internals were bad. They're not. I got that lucky, but it's been sitting out for a long time and I don't know what to expect. I'm already seeing water in the intake system, which is not a good sign. I'm just hoping that nothing got in the combustion chamber, because then this thing's toast. But it's still got good compression and I think it's gonna be all right. These Predator motors can take a beating, I'll tell you that. So today's video, we're just gonna be swapping out this carburetor, swapping out the pull string, see if we can get this log splitter to work so we can use it on the channel in the future. And so that's today's plan. Now, first things first, the first thing I want to do to start off with is I'm just going to check the oil here. Always good to do that. Cobwebs. Oh, there's oil. Yeah, smells like oil. That's good. Okay. Always want to check your oil first. It's been sitting for a while. Let's see, so we're just going to tighten that puppy up. Alrighty. So, I mean, I guess after doing that, we'll just grab the tools and start tearing into this puppy. So, tools here. Bing, bang, boom. Good old D-wall. The place is a bit of a mess. I just got done with the Husqvarna video, so I figured after I make this video, I'll just take everything out of the shop and just give her a good clean. Let's see what we're looking at here. Alrighty, seeing 2 bolts. This should be pretty simple. If you guys have seen the Suburban video I made in the winter, you will all know the classic procedure with these Predators. You pretty much got 2 bolts holding in the whole intake system to the carburetor. I believe the 13 mils. Let's see. What is this? Not even close. That's a 1/2 inch. Come on. All right. Okay, 12 is too big, so it should be 11. It's 11. Nope, read that wrong. 10. Yeah, geez. I get some highs. So, we're gonna take this puppy apart and just see what we got. I'm doing this first before the pull string because I'm really interested to see what we're looking at for this sucker. But before you dig into the bolts, guys, always make sure you take this stuff off. We have an intake here. Put the camera up so you guys can see. Got this cap system. Very good. I'm just gonna take this air filter off. The air filter's feeling wet, which is not giving me a lot of confidence, not gonna lie. She's pretty roasted in there. I might have to get a kit down the road. You can see the water that's in there. So let's at least just try and see what we can get here. Now we can take our 10 mil, now that we've disconnected the air filter, take this puppy off. Come on now. Try to see if we can't crack these open here. Alrighty. Alrighty, so far so good. Sorry for blocking the camera, viewers. These Predator 212s, I gotta give it to you guys. If you ever get a chance to buy them, buy them. They are worth it and they are not expensive. Let's see, I believe this is fuel off. Oh boy. Bad start already. Put that off to the side. That is a mess. Alrighty. There's our carburetor. So even though Hypa sent me the gaskets, I'm not going to use them because these are the best. I don't care who you are, what you say. The gaskets that come on these Predators, they have got to be the best single-cylinder gaskets I've ever had in my life. They are reusable, they last long, and you just can't beat them. They're better than these. Not that these are bad, and you know what? I'm still going to keep these around because if these ever go bad, we've got spares. So even though we got them, we're not going to use them. The reason for that is just, like I said, they're really, really good. I mean, I've had this log splitter for years, and this is the first carburetor swap, but it's not the first carburetor cleaning. Like, I've always been in here cleaning the carburetor, and, you know, this is the first time I'm doing the swap. So with that being said, I mean, these gaskets are amazing. I'm not going to replace them. So I'm noticing that we have a little bit of rust right in there, so you guys can see. And it looks like we got some pliers here we're gonna need. So I'm gonna grab some pliers. I ordered for the shop some gaskets. So door gaskets, more propane tanks, which we got right here, so we can have heat in the shop this year. But most importantly, we need some more lighting because this is nice, but you can see I'm having to use a flashlight to get down in this stuff. I'm thinking of putting 2 LED strips on the sides of these walls and then 2 more on the lower part because it freaking helps when you're under that mower, or in this case you're digging into this log splitter, and you know, with those lights you can get really good light. And they come with like a free 3-year warranty or something crazy like that. It's pretty cool. Anyways, so we're gonna grab our pliers. Alright. And there's a fuel hose that connects from the carburetor straight up into the gas tank. You want to take that out with ease. You also want to be careful, guys. You have a governor rod and governor spring that controls your throttle and RPM and balance of throttle and RPM. That is the important part. That spring isn't just there for looks. That spring is there so it can return and come back, return and come back, and keep it at that perfect level. If you bend that spring, if you bend the rod, or worse, you break them, you have to repair them. You cannot just leave that stuff not in there. You could hillbilly do it with a string, but you can break the motor doing that. So you just want to be careful. I want to try to do this with careful hands. So hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing. You can see that. Trying to get to that clip right there. She's tricky. Gotta turn the light off for a second because I just gotta get in there. Come on, turn that puppy around. Come on, baby. There we go. Shine some light on that. Got the clip moved up. I am expecting to get some gas coming through, so got this little bottle here. There shouldn't be gas in here, but you would be surprised. All right. What I'm gonna do, I'm actually gonna use the carburetor box. There's a holder, look at that. Okay. See if I can't push it up a little bit using the pliers carefully. Alrighty guys, I just took that fuel line off and it's pretty clean. I think what confused me is I thought it was clogged because that front end is actually pretty rusty. So I'll show you guys a quick tip you can use. I should have a brand new fuel line kit here. Ah, right here. I got to use this now. Haven't used it yet. Okay, so this is a carburetor kit. I got it for the good old eBay. And they claim it also cleans your fuel lines. So we're gonna give it a shot. They got these nice thick ones to clean your fuel line. So we're just gonna stick this in here and just run it up and down. Should be it. Let's see. Oh yeah, much better. Don't even see the rest there anymore. Damn, that was pretty good. Alrighty, so fuel off, good. So now we're gonna put our governor rod and spring in. Governor rod, you just push down, and then you're in. So you go boom, and then you push down, bam. Governor spring, be careful, don't bend. Boom, right there. It's all you want right there. Make sure it hooks on good. If it's like this, don't have it that way. You can slip out. Lock it in like that. So now we're gonna push it back in. And one thing you guys also wanna make sure to do is, I see it, Hypo doesn't have one, which is all right, but a lot of these do not come with the choke lever. So you're gonna wanna add that on there when you go to get your new carburetor. Looks just like this. It rests on this little bushing right here. Not bushing, I don't know, this little mini tower, I guess we'll call it. It's where the choke arm rests. I'm just trying to get that fuel line in there. Okay, so now you're just gonna wanna rest it on that, and then your little pin is gonna go right in that choke flap. See what I see in there? And so now, yeah, choke. Gonna put our gasket back in. Let's make sure this is on right. Let's see, yep, that's correct. Boom. And now we're gonna put that intake back on. Making sure there's no water in it, which there is not anymore at least. And we're just gonna run it straight through the bolts. best you can. Alright. Sorry about the light show, guys. I'm trying to do my best. Right on, alright. One thing you also want to check is the vacuum hose in the back here, connected to the overhead valve cover. Make sure that's nice and put in there, nice and tight, nice and firm. Very good. And so now what you want to do is just put those bolts back on, put the intake back on with the air filter, and you're good to go. Do not impact these guys. I'm telling you right now, you're gonna be so in trouble. I mean, it's not good. If you impact these, you can break the gasket, and then you can also strip the bulb. Or you could strip the threads. This is something you definitely want to do by hand. You know, removing it with an impact, I don't see a problem with. And maybe snugging it up with an impact, I don't see a problem with. But actually tightening it down with an impact, it's a no-go. Perfect. You want to snug them down and then give them one last rotation. Jesus. Alrighty. Air filter's back on with the screw. And so now we're gonna move on to my favorite part, which is the pull string. Alrighty. So I'm gonna save these gaskets, save the carburetor just for a memento. I've got too many as is already, but you never know when you're gonna need it. Especially if you're gonna need to reference a part. Got the carburetor there. So this is a classic. It should have 5 bolts. I've only got 2 bolts hanging onto it. Should I be getting bolts for it? Probably. Am I? No, because it's just not needed. So these bolts on the blower shroud, you're looking at a classic 8mm socket. Loosen this puppy up. Make sure I'm getting a good camera angle for you guys. Right on, right on. Loosen that puppy up. Come on. Holy cow. I hear my phone buzzing. Holy Christ. Something must be happening. Uno. Bastard, come on. Alrighty guys, I'm just going to take this off and replace it off camera, and the next time you'll be seeing me, we'll be filling this puppy with gas and praying that it starts. Alrighty guys, getting this puppy all done. We got it all done. Getting her going here. Switch is on. I'm going to see if we can't give her a pull start. I got some car cleaner in case she gives me some trouble. And I got freshly pumped gas. I mean, where do you get to see it? Oh my goodness. Whew, I probably should have checked the tank first. Oh my gosh. That is like in there. Already giving me trouble and haven't even cranked it over yet. Okay. Uh-oh. Hold on now. We might be in for a surprise, ladies and gentlemen. Holy sugar plums. Yeah, so your gas cap should not be that tight. Alright. Aha. See, now, that's not good. Holy Christ on a cloud. Oh my God, we might need a whole new gas tank. Holy cow. Oh my goodness, I didn't, wow. Come on, baby. Holy mother of good Lord. Yeah, that's not supposed to look like that. Oh my God. We might need a new tank, ladies and gentlemen. That is bad. Come on now. Holy! That does not smell like gas. I'm gonna light in there for you guys. Oh my, there's no way I'm running that. Absolutely no way. Come on. Oh my God. Looks like soup. Looks like pea soup. Oh my God. Okay. I probably should have checked that first. Yeah, there's no way I'm running that through the carburetor. That's not even gas. I think that's water, gas. I don't know, rust. That's a tank removal. We gotta clean that tank out and see if we can't find. We can either remove the tank, or we can remove the tank and just buy a new one. Remove the tank and buy a new one. Because that's not good. That would explain why that carburetor got filled up with rust. Let's see, I'm looking at the walls. I can't see the walls. If it's really rusty in there, these walls can collapse. Seems pretty solid, so I don't think the walls are in great danger, so we might be able to save this tank. I think we're going to look at pulling this tank out, guys, and see if we can't find a cap. And I think we'll be alright. I'm not using that cap again. I think it's done. And I think we'll be alright. If it was really, really rusted, hitting it like that, I would have found a weak spot and punctured right through it, but it's not. So, I'll see you guys when we start pulling this puppy apart. Didn't expect that. Alrighty guys, I just removed the gas tank. You're in for a hell of a treat because there's 3 bolts and one of them's really hard to get to near the exhaust manifold, but if you remove the spark plug and spark plug boot, you can get there. Let's see what kind of fuel we're looking at. Sure as hell doesn't smell like it. Oh my gosh. It's like mud. It actually smells like that stuff you use after fireworks. Let's have a look at the inside. Yep, goopy as I thought. Here, have a gander for yourself. The way I fix this is I fill this up with brake clean or good gas. I use brake clean, and then I just put a bunch of bolts in there, wash it around, dump it, do it again, and rinse and repeat until it's cleaned out. So I'll show you right now actually how it's done. I got this trick from a YouTube channel called Cars and Cameras. You guys should check them out. They're pretty cool. They deal with this stuff all the time. So pretty much you... And then you grab from your nut department. I have plenty. I like to use my crappy nuts. Slap them in there. Make sure you put nuts in there that you don't care about, because if you care about these are actually going to get really dirty. Of course. Alrighty, so we got brake clean, we got bolts, and I'm just gonna fill it a little more with some good used gasoline. Put some more bolts in. This is a really neat trick. If you guys are ever in a pinch like me right now, and you just getting to clean gas tank can be tricky. Use this method, it works 100%. So you can see I'm really loading it all up. Alrighty, and then just shake it up. And then you dump it. Oh yeah, oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm actually gonna overfill it. Watch this. This is the satisfying yet disgusting part. Alrighty. Damn, it's actually looking pretty nice. I'm gonna keep going though. Same idea, rinse and repeat. Gee, money, that stuff is dirty. The tricky part is getting the bolts out. It is loud, but you know what? It works. The trick works. I'll show you the before and after. But let me finish taking these bolts out and I'll show you what happens or what it looks like after that. Alrighty guys, seems to be raining out there. Pretty good. But that's what a shop is for. Got it cleaned up. I mean, look at that junk. Oh my God. Anywho, so the way this gas tank goes on, you have to make sure that fuel hose goes right in between this little slot between here and here. You'll see. Oh, I haven't done it yet. Good. Learning experience for some of you folks. It comes right through here, and it goes all the way down to here. So you just kind of dig it out. It can be tricky, takes a while, but I mean, after getting at it for a little bit, you know you're gonna get it. Alright, come on, baby. Might have to pull this carb. Yeah, we gotta pull the carburetor out. I'm usually able to do it without doing that, but it's caught right on the lip of the throttle linkage right here, so, or at least it was. So, boom. Let's see. Come on, baby, get in there. Bam. Governor rod, bam, or spring, sorry, bam. Ah, shit. Bing, bang, boom. It's coming down pretty good out there, and the Husqvarna doesn't have a good fuel cap on it, so I'll have to drain that fuel out. But anyways, tug on it a bit, you'll see that gas tank starting to come into its own spot. Feel free to push that carburetor in. There we go. And then there you go, put your fuel line in. And there you go. So this is the tricky part, guys. Pay attention. I only chew my cabbage once, maybe twice. Alright, so you got a bolt over here. You got a bolt on both sides here. Uno, dos. And you can see how we're not done yet. We have one bolt here, but we have two nuts over here. Okay, two nuts. Lift the tank up, center it on those little holes, drops right in. Get a light so you guys can see. Nut number one. And nut number two. You may not be able to see the second one, but that's alright. She wants to cross thread. Come on now. Alright. And there you go. I use a little 10mm and just tighten that puppy up. Boom. Boom. There we go. So those two are set, but the most important one I want to show you guys is this one. It's a bit of a you-know-what. You got two of them here, actually. You got this guy over here. You got this guy right here. Feel free to impact these because these are absolutely atrocious to tighten and atrocious to loosen. So I'm going to smack these guys with the impacts pretty decently hard, but you know, nothing crazy. Alright. Classic me, I never put the right socket on the first time, so. Alright. one, and you can see this is the point where you gotta take your spark plug boot out. And you can kind of get away with the spark plug, but you can see how it gets in the way. There you go. Gas tank installed. I'm gonna tighten this guy up a bit. Sorry for the camera work here. Oh my goodness, pretty sloppy if you ask me. I mean, you know, these motors, they're a dime a dozen, you know. You're gonna have these problems with them, especially if they've been sitting out. But want to make sure these are nice and tight, because if this motor vibrates a lot, it's a log splitter, if they're going to do that, want to make sure your bolts are nice and snug tight so they don't shimmer off. Alright. Holy mackerel. That is a hell of a job. Now we can put our system back on here without trying to make a mess. Alrighty, see, it's a good thing we didn't impact this, because if we had broke the gasket, we would have had to done this all over again. And that's not cool, you know. You don't want to have to do that stuff twice. You only want to have to do it once, because trust me when I say it, these are reliable motors, don't get me wrong, but reliability can only get you so far before you gotta start working on it, and then you find out, well, it's reliable because it's good, but it's good because parts are hard to break, and sometimes the ones that are hard to break are always the ones that are hard to get to. But I mean, it's not really hard, you know. It's pretty simple stuff. And sorry, I'm swapping out sockets. I don't want to impact this. It's pretty simple stuff. I mean, it looks like a lot what I'm showing you guys, but at the end of the day, it's just a regular, average, run-of-the-mill motor. I mean, maybe not this one because this is screaming bald eagles, but it's small stuff. I mean, it's so simple. These are great for starting out. This is how I started out, working on the small stuff, you know. And then you work your way up to the mowers, and then the vehicles, and then the big tractors, and before you know it, you're working on the big stuff. Snug tight. Snug tight. Now, everybody keeps asking me, and I don't blame you, what is snug tight? Snug tight is when you push that ball all the way in by hand, and it's just starting to get tight. You want to give it 2 or 3 full revolution turns equally on both sides. You don't want to give this all the beans and this one not. You're going to warp the gasket and break it. You want to evenly give them some tightness. So when it's taut, you want to screw it until it's getting taut, and then you do 1, 2, 1, 2, and then 1 per side, and just little tweaks like boom, boom, and there you go. So that's what I mean when I say snug. I'm not grabbing the impact and smacking it in there as hard as I can. This plug is optional, you don't need it. I'm gonna put it back in because it gets in the way. That is a vapor plug, so that just collects all the... It's supposed to collect all the vapors, but this thing is just freaking terrible. It's broken, that's why. Does it work? I have no idea, but we'll put it on. Alrighty, now we'll try to test fire. Oh my gosh. Whew. That's a first. That's a first. There must have been a lot of water that got into that for that to happen, so. Well, let's give it a shot. See what we get here. Let's see. take this gas cap off. Good old 5-galloner. Eyeball engineering, there we go. Beautiful. Load that puppy up. Far from a full tank, but let's get a light in there and see what we're looking at. Also, make sure there's no leaks. Check around it. Obviously, it's not going to be a big deal for me because I'm already leaking here, but see, it's a lot better in there. See, I'm seeing pretty clear. See how it's all clear in there? It's not murky. That's when you know it's good enough to run. And I'm not seeing any leaks, especially on the bottom tray here. I think we're good. I'm not gonna put this back in because this is done. It's not filtering. It's not gonna be filtering everything because there's even crud on the outside. So this is done. I'll put that with that. But I'll have to order a new cap for this. Or see if I might have one around actually, now that I'm thinking about it. But we are not using that old one. That is just too much. Well, let's spray some carb cleaner down the throat and see what we get for some action. I hope we get something. I know that was a little bit much. I probably shouldn't have done that, but yeah, I'm sure it's fine. Switch is on. Fuel on. Choke. Let's see. Start. Very good. Let's give her a test romp here. Seems to run pretty good. I'm gonna give it one more pull here just to make sure. She's running mint. Turn the fuel off, choke on. Well, there you go, guys. There's your video. Thank you, Hypo, for that carburetor. Oh my god, that saved my ass. Whew! That's a good $25, $30 carburetor. Works perfect. But we'll see how it does in the long run. I may be saying it's working perfect now. We don't know. But the only way to find out is to put it to the test and start using it. But I'm glad we got this log splitter going. I'm definitely going to order a new cover for the air intake, new air filter, just a tune-up, spark plug, air filter, gas cap, oil change. How are we doing hydraulic fluid? What are we looking like? Don't tell me you're having a problem. Okay. Oh my goodness. That's not bad-ish. I've seen better looking fluid, but it actually doesn't look too bad. That's usually what hydraulic fluid looks like when it's pumping. It's just blowing a lot of that air, but it is a little low in fluid. It should be a little higher. Between you and me, I think it's fine because hydraulic fluid is expensive. It's $40 a quart, I believe. Or $40 for 4 quarts. It's expensive. I don't think it's $40 a quart. It might be. I don't know. I haven't checked the prices in a long time. But you can see we got a mess here. I'm gonna clean all this up. That's what the Scott's rags are for, man. I mean, not a single drop of gas on the floor. I am actually quite surprised at myself. I usually get all the gas on the floor, but I don't see any puddles here except for the one in that silver bowl. Now, of course, guys, we are environmentally friendly. We're not just dumping this in the back of our yard. We do take this stuff. I like to save these little bottles. You can get these at like a gas station or Stop and Shop, and just fill them up with gas and then take them over to the dump, and they let you dump it in their yeah, I think you have to pay like 20 bucks where I am, but they let you dump all this gas and oil and just whatever, anything that's flammable, combustible, just hazardous stuff, they let you dump, and they just burn it there, and they have a heater that runs on the stuff, so it's pretty good. So that's what we'll be doing with that. I'm sure I'm just going to give this a quick touch up. You can see it's a little dirty. She can use a little bit of loving. She hasn't been loved in months. But for a motor that's been sitting ever since last year, December, with a crusty gas tank, a crusty carburetor, no gas, and it's just been sitting with water in the intake, I'd say it's a score. I mean, she fired right up. She didn't even think about it. She just said, I want to come back to life. That's why I like these Predators. A dream of mine for the 140. As much as I love that cast iron KO3, no, I'm right, K30. Yeah, KO3, Jesus. As much as I love that cast iron motor, it's nothing like a Predator. I mean, Predator makes the single cylinders for like $125, $150, and for 900 bucks, I know it's a bit high, but this sucker, brand new, is 1,500 bucks. A brand new horizontal Predator V-twin is 900 bucks at Harbor Freight, and it's all billet aluminum. So I'd like to see us get that on the channel. That would be freaking awesome. But that's pretty much it, guys. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Hit up Hypa, guys. I mean, look at this. Look what we got to do with their parts. And I'm very thankful they sent us the free parts. You know, it's pretty awesome that we got to be partnered up. Like I said before, guys, I said it in the last video with the Husqvarna. I'll say it again, and I'll probably say it again and again. Check out their link below. I'm just going to put down the standard link to their website. Check it out so you can get more parts for this specific motor or this motor, just any small engine. But link in the description. And that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you all stay safe. I'll catch you guys next time, and hopefully we'll be seeing this log splitter towed behind the Husqvarna or the Poulon. Either way. And so with all that said and done, Impossible Mowers out.